What's up, guys? It's the Beat Street Bully Billionaire, ready to break down the first playoff event of the year. We're going to break down the course, and we're also going to check out some of the key stats, as well as looking in at the field a little bit to see what are the prices here on DraftKings for DFS, those type of things, lineups, outrights. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. So stick with me here, and hopefully you like what you see, and we can continue to do this in the future. All right, let's break it down here. We're going to start off with the course location. It's located in Memphis, Tennessee, TPC Southwind. It was designed by Ron Pritchard, and players Hubert Green and Fuzzy Zoller serving as consultants. It opened in 1988 as a private golf course, par 70. Yardage here, we got around 7,200 yards. And winning score anywhere from 10 to 17 under par, depending on the weather. Last year's winner was Will Zalatoris at 15 under par. What you're going to want to note about this course is that there's a lot of water hazards in play. There are 11 holes where water will come into play, so accuracy will be very crucial. Some of the tightest fairways that you see on the PGA Tour, and very smaller than average green sizes, so it's going to be very difficult to hit fairways, hit greens. You're going to want to find golfers that are super accurate, who are super dialed in with the approach play, who can hold these greens and that are good putters on Bermuda grass. It's going to be tough to find a guy who's got all that. Probably just going to try to find a guy that's really strong in one of those things, and then hopefully they get lucky in some other aspects, but mainly the approach play is what we're going to look at, because that's really what the winning factor here seems to be, and accuracy. The last two winners, Abe Onser won here over Sam Burns in a playoff, and he was at the time one of the most accurate drivers, probably the most accurate driver of the ball, and dialed in with the approach play. Sam Burns probably made his way up to the top of the board because of putting, Bermuda putting. Then the next year, Zalatoris, he was the number one approach player in the entire world coming into the event, which made a lot of sense why he won. We were all over that. We wanted to win that one. We won on Onser. Onser we hit year before. My brother was all over that one, but we were all over Zalatoris. We were loving him before the tournament started. And we read this article right before saying this could be the one, this could be the breakthrough for Zalatoris. And after we read that, we were like, oh, these dudes think they're going to be on Zalatoris. So we pretty much said we're out on that. And that was very disappointing. So we're going to try to avoid any kind of situation like that. We're going to go with what people say. If someone likes a guy that might break through, we're not going to be fading them just because of that, or we are going to look at who people were talking about, and we're going to see who people were really interested in. I've already digested a lot of the content so far. Everything has been much or all of it more than we'll go on tomorrow, but we're going to digest a lot more content to see what are the consensus picks here, and see what people think, to try to figure out who's the best outright bet, because there's definitely going to be a best outright bet who's probably going to be there all the way till the end, and maybe if they lose to a playoff or something to somebody that you can't fucking ever know, then whatever, but we're going to figure that out. Let's see, we're going to figure, next thing here, we go through the course specs. Alright, correlation approach play, only believe, let's see, only two courses on tour where approach play is going to be more important. Of the top 15 finishers last year, only two players lost strokes on approach, and one was Sung Jae Im, who only lost 0.1 strokes, which is pretty much not even really losing, but still. putting more importantly on Bermuda, putts from 0 to 5 feet. Okay, this is going to be an important stat here, 0 to 5 feet. Remember this one when you're watching the event, because you're going to see guys miss these putts. You're going to be like, what's going on? Why is he missing a 5-footer and then now blowing it by 2 feet and then taking a bogey? You're going to be like going crazy when you see this, because it's going to happen. Made a lot less than the tour average here, 0 to 5 footers. So probably because the Bermuda grass, you can get burnt out throughout the day, get real fast, stimpy, you know. So when that happens, you're going to see guys miss putts. So that's going to, you know, concern me. It's already a couple dudes in my mind that's going to concern me on. This won't be the main reason for winning here. Is not going to be Bermuda putting, but you will probably see somebody get up to the top of the board with just putting. Last year, Adam Scott lost 1.5 strokes on approach, but gained 6.5 strokes putting to finish top 5 at 11 under par. Zalatoris gained 2 strokes with the putter, but he was generally a terrible putter coming into the event. Out of the top 15 finishes last year, only 3 players lost strokes with the putter. The average top, okay, go to that. The average top finisher avoided 3 putts. So you want to avoid 3. What was basically what I was saying about 0 to 5 footer? You want to avoid 3 putts. So you don't want to fuck up that 0 to 5 footer. Just put it in. It's easy, not hard. Didn't make that one. Gets me very angry. Last week was really pissing me off. A lot of dudes were missing 5 footers for me that I needed and missed the cut. You know, really screwed me over. This week, no cut. We're not gonna have a cut this week, so that's another thing to point out. No cut. Okay, so you're gonna have to rethink some of these dudes. Some of them are not gonna have the pressure that they're normally gonna have. You know, you have a bad round 1. Well, now there's a lot of pressure on you because now you gotta get to a number. You know, you really have to. That's the goal. But now there's no number to get to when you fuck up. So you're just gonna be able to have that 3rd and 4th round of the weekend. Who knows who's gonna be up there? I mean, like, it could be anybody. It could be somebody who literally does nothing the first 3 days and they go -9 the last day. I mean, literally, that's gonna happen, and they can finish top 5, and you're gonna be sitting there like, what's going on? When, you know, your lineup is winning $50,000 and now it's winning $100. You know, because some dude went -9 on the last day. So I'm just saying, you better watch out for that. That's going to be a factor. Let's see. Tee to green. No golfer lost a single stroke. Tee to green. That finished inside the top 15 last year. And off the tee, same thing. You're gonna have to be really dialed in off the tee, because the way I see it is, if your approach play and all that, you know, is gonna be hot, you're gonna have to play out of the fairway. So these fairways super tight. There's no way you're gonna get that iron play hot unless you're playing out of the fairway. So you're gonna need to have a very dialed in driver this week. Let's see. Yeah, only 1 player inside the top 15 from last year lost strokes off the tee. So pretty much you want a player that's going to gain strokes across the board, because most of the players, pretty much every player that finished inside the top 15 last year at this event gained across the board. There wasn't some drastic losing, you know. So you're going to want to find, there's only a couple exceptions, like Adam Scott, who lost like 1.5 strokes, gained 6 with the putt. So you're going to find maybe 1 or 2 outliers like that, but you really want consistent guys that are going to be able to, you know, just stay in the mix. And if they can stay in the mix, have a low round, you know, then they're good. But if they keep screwing up, then you're done, bud. So, all right, moving on. Greens in regulation is going to be very, very key. It's considered to be the most important or most correlated stat to winning on the PGA Tour. And this is definitely true. And in this course specifically, because the greens are a lot smaller and the fairways are harder to hit. So it's going to be very difficult to hit these greens. The greens and regulation percentage here was a lot lower than the tour average here, really. So you're just going to see that that's going to be key. Yeah, that's some things to look out for there. Yardages to watch out for: par fours from 450 to 500 yards make up the majority of the holes here. 6 holes. So 6 holes are going to be about 450 to 500. Then you have par fours from 400 to 450, which are going to make up about 4 holes. And then you got par threes from about 150 to 175, which make up 2 different holes. So then the rest is a little bit variance of some, but those 3 right there are going to be important, specifically 450 to 500 yards. 6 holes there and 4 from. So you're going to be mid-iron, maybe some long irons, but yeah, you're going to be down in from those ranges. Approach buckets, here we go with that one. 150 to 175 yards, 175 to 200 yards, and then 125 to 150. Those 3 ranges are going to come in well above the tour course average. So you're going to see that approach a lot more often here than most courses on the PGA Tour. So you're going to want golfers that are good from those buckets. So if you're looking to factor in buckets or make a model, or you got some kind of thing, you put weight those buckets: 150 to 175, 175 to 200, and 125 to 150. Those are the ranges you're going to want. Okay, so just watch out for that, and you should be good. Let's see. Another thing, pars. You're going to get a lot of pars here, obviously, like every other week, but more so than normal. You're going to want bogey avoidance and birdie or better percentage. Also, because there's no cut, you're going to want to factor in fantasy points gained, because there's no cut. So everyone's gonna get the 4 days. So who gains the most amount of fantasy points? You got to factor in birdies. You get more points for birdies than you do for bogeys. You're gonna factor that in. So who's gonna get a lot of birdies? That's gonna be a factor. Someone who gets the most birdies could be something. So factor that in. That pretty much covers a lot of what I would like to talk about when it comes to the course. Now let's get into some of the golfers. Let's just break down some of the ranges here. We got the Big Chef coming in at $12,100, which is pretty fucking high, I have to say. But he deserves it, because no one in the world has played like this ever in this stretch, not even Tiger Woods. So we're gonna have to give him the props. If he could putt, it's over. It's it. If he putts this week, it's over. He's winning the tournament. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it. But when it comes to the 0 to 5 foot ranges and missing a lot, and the tour average not making a lot here, and he had kind of his problem as well. Well, if he misses a lot of those, well, then he's going to have to make some longer putts to make those up, just to make those up. So, that's my problem with him, is that he could be dialed in with his approach play, and then he misses the 5-footer for birdie. Whereas you really shouldn't miss that one. You know what I mean? That's supposed to be a lock. There's no real point of being able to put it there close every single time if you're just going to miss that one. So for me, I would say I've been chasing Chef. I think he's ready to win. It's just a matter of time. But man, this is probably the best course for him, because he doesn't need to putt as well here. Zalatoris found success here, and he was garbage at the putter. And so, but he did gain a couple strokes here. So if he could gain like 2 strokes here, he's probably going to win, by a lot, probably by multiple strokes. So if you think that Scottie Scheffler is going to gain at least a couple strokes with the putter this week, then I would advise you to put money on him, because he's going to be there, and there's no doubt, you know what I mean? But if for some reason he can't do it, and he can't put those ones together, then he's not going to be there. So that would be my concern with him. So I'm going to move on from him now. We all know what he's capable of. Next guy up is Rory McIlroy. He's 11,500. Okay, I've been chasing him. Finally got a hit on him. Not for as much as he'd fucking robbed me for over the last month before that, but finally got a hit on him at the Open Championship. And, or not Open Championship, the Scottish Open. And, yeah, I mean, I bet him pre-tournament. It was like 9-1. Put like $100 on him, or win 1,000. You know, pretty much is my unit. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like he's got his now. Could he win again? Yeah, he likes his place. He's finished top here a lot of times here, and I probably would want to bet him again. You know, his odds are a little low for me, but same with Scheffler. You know, I'm probably gonna have to bet Scheffler. If I'm not convinced otherwise, but. Yeah, he's just been dominant, but his problem is always just at the end. You know, he's gonna be there, and then at the end, he's just something's gonna happen. And he just can't chip, and he can't make a birdie, and he can't. And you're just like, really? And you're just sitting there with a ticket on him, and you're just like, come on! Like, I've literally been burned by you a million times when I had the guy ahead of you by multiple strokes, and then you'd come in and take that money away from me, and now I'm sitting here with the ticket with you, and you can't even make a 5-footer. So yeah, that'll get frustrating. So with him, that's my problem with him. I definitely think he's probably gonna have another best shot to win here too, you know, so it's really hard. It's gonna be really hard to figure out who's gonna be him or Scheffler or Ram when it comes to one of those three, because especially between him and Scheffler, just because they've both been playing out of their minds. And, you know, but they're also both so high in the FedEx Cup right now that they need this one? They don't need this one. No, not to say they're not going to be incentivized. They're going to come to play, obviously, but, you know, do they need this one? Probably not. So, I'm probably, you know, hoping to find a reason to not have to be on these dudes, but you're probably going to have to be on these dudes whether you like it or not. So, that's him, you know, that's Rory McIlroy for you. We're going to move to John Ram. He's $11,100, 9-1 outright. Probably safer play, you know, come in lower, percent owned or whatever, you know. Came off a top 2 at the Open Championship. Yeah, I mean, like, he's just having the best year of anybody. Like, just hands down. You know, he's won like 6-7 times already. 4 of them on the PGA Tour, multiple times on the European Tour. I mean, he's an animal. The dude's a goddamn animal. There's no stopping him when he's up there. You know, like when he's just rolling. Like, you're just not gonna beat him. And he's one of those guys that just, he's not the world number 1, I think, anymore. He's number 2. So maybe he wants to prove himself. I mean, I don't know. But yet again, he's still 3rd, so, you know, really expensive. The hope is that neither 3 of these guys are up there. Maybe they finished best, top 15. And then if you faded all of them, then you'd win money. You know, that would be like last year, you know. You would have probably had to still play Ram, who finished top 5, but if you would have played Ram and Zalatoris, then you could have pretty much faded the rest of the top guys and had yourself, like, you know, some Harmons and some Straka. Now, obviously, it would have been tough to get to those dudes back then, but in hindsight now, it looks like pretty good, right? So, I don't know. I think it's going to be something similar to that, even with the no cut, just because I've seen some of these guys make the cut and then they still finish T25. I mean, so, you know, that's my thoughts on it. Just because they get 4 rounds doesn't mean they're just going to finish up there. But Ram, though, Ram would be the one guy I would say that guaranteed 4 rounds. Looking back at his, I'm just not really sure how he's not going to finish top place here, especially if he already has good history here, and if he's just got his game a little bit, if he's just feeling it, you know. Because, I mean, he don't really even have to have his game. Like, he could just be feeling it that Thursday morning or whatever and just see you later. But he's that dude. You all know it. If you like him, go for him. I'm not sure about it yet. I don't have enough information yet. But that's, you know, that's Rammer. Move on to the next tier. I would tier those guys as basically just a tier above everybody else. There's nobody better than those three guys right now, pretty much, I would say. I mean, you could maybe make some more, but I wouldn't even. Those are the three best golfers in the world by far. So one of them's bound to probably win, since the last 3-4 events have all been won by complete no names, pretty much. You know, people who you just will never remember, never remember. And you'll remember, if you watch golf, you'll remember these dudes, but pretty much not household. You know, you're not gonna, like, you know Tiger Woods, you remember Tiger Woods. You're not gonna remember Lucas Glover really, or Straka, or Harmon. Those dudes, you know, kudos to them for being really good, playing really good, but it's just, you know, nothing against them. But it's just, you're not gonna remember them. When it comes down to, like, to the long run, because they're not those big time names with the big win equity that just win consistently, you know, and make history and win all the majors. Now, it doesn't really seem to be like there is anybody like that, because Tiger was the best, but these three dudes right now, specifically McIlroy probably is the most, and Ram with the most pedigree, Scheffler coming up. It's just game theory, man. Like, one of them is probably going to win because it's been all these scrubs for so long, and it's just, you haven't had, like, the favorite win. When is the favorite cashed? When has the favorite cashed this year? At the Players or Scotty Scheffler? Was he the favorite there? Or was it Ram? You know, I don't even know if the favorite has cashed once this year. So I'm not really even certain that, you know, I feel like game theory just got to suggest here, bigger event, cream of the crop, maybe this is the time to pick your, finally get the favorite to win this event. You know, it's like a horse race. I mean, in horse races, favorite wins a lot, but I mean, not all the time. It seems like you pick the favorite all the time, you get burned a lot, but it definitely comes in, you know, like, it definitely comes in. So I think it's gonna have to come in here, probably this one or the next one, you know. So let's see, we're gonna move on from those guys now. We're gonna move to a lower tier of guys. I call them the fat cats. You know, they're on the prowl here. They could have some chance. They could make a move, maybe, you know, depending. So the first guy we got in the range, you know, we're just gonna go by price, is Victor Hovland. He's $10,200, 20-1 outright. He won the Memorial Tournament versus Denny McCarthy in a playoff, had Denny crying and whatnot, you know. But he's a young buck. He's ready to go. He's been winning. He's one of those guys, you know. Everybody kind of just sees how this goes, and you're watching this, you know. You're looking who's going to be the next big guy who wins all the majors. This guy, you know, he's probably going to win a major, probably be a Masters champion one day or something, or better, who knows. So I would look out for this guy. Ball striking fiend, that's his thing. Memorial, you got to be super accurate. Same thing here. So he's just a guy that I would say you're going to want to watch out for, you know, especially in a course where you got to be real accurate. You got to be super good with the ball striking approach play. Now his putting, chipping, you know, kind of weak, but I mean, like, that's just, you know, he's somebody to be looking at, you know, probably a little bit cheaper here than these other guys. You know, if you're gonna go down, it's a lot cheaper, and he's definitely just, I don't know, he's a guy that you could get behind. I think over 4 rounds, he should probably, you know, have at least one pretty good round, you know, and maybe that's enough. I'm not really sure, you know, who's all gonna play well here. It could be that all the dudes play well here, and they all are at the top. I've kind of been waiting for a week like that. I really haven't gotten a week like that yet, so maybe that'll be the case, but not really looking like it right now, you know, because of the way things have been going. All these bums at the top of the board, so you're gonna be real picky, it seems. So this could be a guy to look out for. He's 20-1 to win the tournament. I think it seems like a pretty fair price on a guy like that, but I don't know. I'm not sure yet about him. I mean, I'd probably still. This is just the first phase. Take a look. Tomorrow we'll have a lot more information to go over, and we'll be able to really figure out who's gonna get this one. All right. So next guy we got Xander Schauffele, $10,000 flat. 18-1 to win the tournament. He really, like, he's been probably the guy that I've wanted to win all year. Probably because I've just been betting him all year. But I just would like to just see it, just because I've been betting him, and I just feel like I feel like I know something, right? But I don't know. Lately, he hasn't really been worth the bet, I would say. You know, he was worth the bet when I was betting him, and I still bet him even when he wasn't worth the bet. But he really lately hasn't been worth the bet. You know what I mean? Now I'm probably still gonna bet him because that's just what I've been doing every week, and I'm just hoping that it just hits because I've been doing it every week. But it's just the guy that just, I mean, my problem with him is he just kind of just can't get it done. I don't know what it is. You know, he's there and then he's just gone. And you're just like, you know, I thought he had Wyndham Clark there in the, you know, what was that one? An elevated event at Wells Fargo. I thought he had that, man. I thought that was going to be the one I was going to cash. And he had him for 3 rounds, and I thought it was going to be it, you know. And he really just couldn't come in there, man. Couldn't come clutch. He got pissed on by Wyndham Clark, who then also showed us he was better than we thought because he won the U.S. Open. But still, I mean, man, that one stung. So, I don't know. I don't really like it, but I'm probably just going to bet it anyway, you know. So, yeah. I mean, if you like it, I mean, he's the best combination of approach and putting that you're going to get. You're not going to get a guy who's all super consistent approach and putting at the top of the board. He's the guy for that, you know. So I would say if you're looking for that, that's something to look at. Definitely a lot of question marks for me, but 4 guaranteed rounds. He did win that Olympic event. I don't know if that had a cut. I can't remember, but probably didn't. So yeah, I don't know. I think he'll be somebody that we're definitely gonna have to eye on because he might be low owned and nobody might bite on him. And if that's the case, well then you might just have to really go on this guy because I mean he's definitely good enough. He definitely has the caliber to get done in a bigger event, bigger field. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Next one is going to be Patrick Cantlay, his buddy. $9,800. He's 14-1 to win, so he's actually less odds to win outright than Viktor Hovland and Xander. But he's going to be priced cheaper. So what does that tell you? So that might just be the automatic move right there. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing too. It's like DraftKings is making the odds for the outright and pricing him. So I'm like, what is that about? You just don't know that he's cheaper priced on there, but he's yeah, I don't understand that. But I mean, I don't know how they do it. But I would just say that that's a mistake, right? You know what I mean? It's not correct. I'm not sure which side of it is incorrect. But he either shouldn't be 14-1 or he shouldn't be $9,800. He should, you know, if he's 14-1, he should probably be 10,200. Victor, who's 20-1, and then Victor should be 98. So I don't know. That one seems like a mistake, maybe a little flaw. Maybe you take advantage of it. You know, Cantlay, he likes these playoff events, man. This is where he really finds his sweet spot. You know. So I would say he's definitely somebody to watch out for, and yeah, you're gonna want to, you know, check him out, man. I mean, like, who's a guy I mean, he hasn't really been the absolute best right now, but he's definitely had some top finishes this year, and I don't know, he just seems like a guy that could win a tournament like this, real accurate on the fairways and the approach play, and I don't see him hitting a lot of water balls, or I don't know. He could get hot with the putter. He used to be the best putter in the world. He used to be the best putter in the world. Couldn't stop him. So maybe he'll just turn something on this week. You know, playoffs, it's his thing, man. He wins all kinds of playoff events. So I mean, I don't know who's gonna take the biggest boost here. That's a thing to watch out for. All right. Next guy on the board. We got Tyrrell Hatton. Yeah, it's an interesting guy. Yeah, I don't know about him. You know, he's kind of like, he gets so angry, you know what I mean? Now, lately he's been getting angry and it's just been going. And things have been going in, he's been getting angry. But he's just like one of those guys that, like, what are you so angry about? You know what I mean? You're making millions of dollars on a tour. Like, we get it. You know what I mean? You're not, things aren't going. But come on, it gets stressful, but like, just calm down. You know what I mean? And then you watch him, and somebody's on there just going. He's getting all pissed off. So I don't know. I mean, people really like him. I really like him. I think he's definitely playing like one of the best golfers in the world right now. So I definitely think that's a smart pick. You know what I mean? He's at $700, right behind Patrick Cantlay. He has 8 top 10 finishes. He's made 18 of 19 cuts. I don't know. I mean, like, what does he do wrong? That's the thing that I'm not really sure about. He has a top 20 finish at the Open, top 6 at the Genesis, top 3 at the RBC, top 5 at the AT&T, top 12 Memorial, 15 at the... Damn, he's really been finishing top a lot. I don't know. This guy finishes top a lot. You want a guy who's up there a lot. You want a guy who's just going to finish top. You know what I mean? Like, literally top 5. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what you want. If you're making a lineup, you know, this dude got to finish top. I mean, come on. So, can he get a lot of birdies? Can he do it that way? I don't know. That's a guy to maybe look out for, do some more research on. But that's the guy at that range. I don't know if I like him. I don't know. I'm just going to close to the 9,000. That's probably going to be it. And then we'll see. We'll probably do some, you know, the rest are pretty much scrubs. Ricky Fowler, jeez. I mean, yeah, he won that one recently. Yeah, he's probably been playing pretty good, pretty dialed up. I could see him maybe get a playoff run, but still, 42 at the Scottish, 23 at the Open after his first place finish. Before that, he was first, 13th, 5th, 9th, 6th. He was 77 at the PGA Championship. Missed the cut there. Okay. 14th, 15th, 10th, 13th. Yeah, I mean, there's another guy that's just finishing top. I don't know. Maybe you just skip all these dudes up top and you just go with one of these dudes and just hope they finish their top 13, 15, 12. I mean, I don't know. Is that going to be enough? I don't know. That's another problem, I would have to say. And we got, another one of my boys who I've been trying to hit, but I can't hit. Jordan Spieth, $9,300. I've been betting this dude all year long. Almost had him. And then Matt Fitzpatrick pissed in my mouth. Yeah, it was really frustrating. What's he at right now? $9,300. What did he do last event? 23rd at the Open Championship. Ooh, okay. Followed by 106, the 66, the 5th, the Memorial. Oh man. He's at a 2nd place, a 4th place, a 3rd place, a 4th place, and a 6th place this year. He's had a lot of top finishes. 6 top 10s. A lot of these dudes in this range, you're noticing, have a lot of top 10 finishes. But when you go up top, you see Scheffler has 15. Jesus. 15 top 10 finishes for Scotty Scheffler. And 11 for McIlroy and 11 for Ram. So, yeah, I mean, Jesus. But yeah, when you go down this range, though, a lot of these guys have 7 or 8. Yeah, Jordan Spieth. I mean, he's a guy that can just carve up with the wedge, get the putter going. You know, his driver has been pretty good. Usually that's the thing that sucks for him, his driver. When you watch him, he's got some finishing move at the end of his drive where it's like he releases the club I don't know what he's been doing, what he's been working on, but man, it's been nice working for him. I like it. You know, I like what I've been seeing from the boy. Okay, he's my boy. I've been betting him every week. Him and Xander have been auto bets every week, so I'll be back to the well with him. So I'll have a ticket on him again. You know, it sucks, but it is what it is. You know, I mean, like, it's just how you do it. You know, you just gotta keep betting these dudes until they break through. You know, if you're on them, you're on them. You know, I mean, just like the same thing though. It's just like him and Xander just recently have not been worth the bet. But because I've been on it all year, and I just got 2 events left. If I stop now, they're both gonna win, or one of them's gonna win, or so you can't. All right. Right below him, we got 2 more left, and then we're start getting the 8K guys. We got Tommy Fleetwood. Yeah, he's really been pretty good this year. Yeah, I mean, he's been he's probably the best player in the entire world with no win, and just been knocking on the door. So definitely a guy that I could see up there. He can chip really well, he can putt well, he's in the fairway. I mean, yeah, he's got a game, man. He's got a game. Dude's got a game. He got a flow. He's got a nice flow going. You know what I'm saying? He got the flow. Yeah, he really. Yeah, I definitely like what I see out of the guy. Let's see some of his finishes: 10th, 6th, 5th, 2nd. Yeah, when he makes these cuts, man. 18th, 5th, 15th, 3rd. Yeah. Good stretch for the Fleet Street. I mean, I'm the Beat Street Bully, you know what I'm saying? Gotta go Fleet Street, Beat Street. You know, we like this guy. He's a good guy. He's a nice guy. I like him. You know what I'm saying? I definitely like him. I would love to see him win. He's definitely another guy I've been betting a lot. Now, I haven't really been chasing him. I guess I have been chasing him. Yeah. Well, I've pretty much been chasing everybody, you know. I've been 2nd place all year. All these bums have been screwing me. Pretty much every event I have the name that loses to the bum. You know, and then the one event that I don't bet, then I just get so screwed for so many weeks in a row that I just can't put any more money into it. Then it's Ricky Fowler. I was gonna put money on him, or it's Victor Hovland over fucking Denny McCarthy. Oh man, yeah, this year's been rattled, man. Really rattling year. Okay, that's why I'm moving into this action. Okay, let's do this instead. Let's get on here. I'll tell you what I like. I'll tell you what I see. Okay, come listen to the bully. I'll tell you. Okay, I'll give you a couple picks. I'm pretty dialed in, pretty much. I mean, I might not win, but man, if I was betting top 5s, I'd be hitting every single week. So follow my picks. I'm gonna show you the way. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get to real bread and butter here. Yeah, I don't know. Fleetwood is definitely an interesting guy here. I would have to say. I would say, I would just, I don't know. I would just look out for how many people are gonna play this guy. You know, we're gonna find out how many people are gonna be on him. What the sharps think. You know, it seems like a lot of sharps like him. I don't want to be all on him if everybody's on him and it's just a dud. You know, so. That's another one to look out for. But last guy here, probably a dude that I think now looking at him, I'm like probably could just win this whole thing easily is Colin Morikawa. And the reason being is that approach play, #1 course for approach play, and it was the reason last year that Will Zalatoris won. He was the best approach player in the world, and that was pretty much the reason why, you know, just being dialed in from approach. And this dude, I mean, or if you extend the sample size to like 5 years or 500 rounds or whatever, 100 round baseline, whatever it is, there's no way this dude ain't the best approach player. You know, he's the best. You can't stop him. So, Morikawa, he's a major champion. Has he ever really shown up in a playoff event? I don't know. You need to look that up, I guess. But yeah, he's a dude that in a no-cut event, he's won World Golf Championship events. Maybe he's a dude that give him some time to figure out the greens. He'll just get dialed in and like start rolling the rock, and then he's just so dialed with the rest that it's just, you know. But it's him and the Scheffler are on the same thing for me. It's like they're both dialed in with the approach play to a certain degree, but if they just could get the putter going, they'd be locked in. But if for some reason it's the opposite, where now they just can't get the approach play going, then they're screwed, because their putter's already not hot, and so now it's like they're not going to make up for it. So we gotta hope that they keep their approach dialed in, they stay dialed in, and then they just, you know, roll that rock. Morikawa, man, he missed a 5-foot putt on the first hole of the Rocket Mortgage Classic that probably would have sealed the deal for him, looking back at it now. So I'm just saying, that's a dude who, he misses 5-footers, you know. That's the thing that, but it just like, it didn't seem to matter if it was Zalatoris. He was missing 5-footers all year long coming up into the event, and he just figured something out. So if one of these dudes figures something out, well then, okay, you know. So, which, if we're talking about putters, you got an article coming out in Golf Digest where Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy both switch putters before this event, possibly. So, what's that about? So now they're, you know, one's going to the Spider, the other's going to the Scotty. So, is that going to help them, affect them, make them better, make them worse? I don't know. So that's going to be tough to decipher, but those are the top dogs in that range. Pretty much it for the top dogs. And I don't really know who I mean, if I was going to go with like who I like the most out of this range, just giving a look. I mean, like, it's just, I don't know. They're all good, but there's not one that really like speaks to me yet, you know. So on that note, we're gonna wrap it up, and we're gonna try to figure it out tomorrow. See what we got. That's the live look for the week. That's the, you know. This is just a little format here. Follow me if you like what you see. Give it a like, you know, whatever. I don't really give a shit. See you later.